If you are a student who holds more than one student employment position during an academic semester, it is vital that you understand how to use what we call transfer codes. A transfer code helps the Student Employment Office to determine whether or not the hours that you've been working are being charged to the appropriate department. When you first land your positions on campus, you're going to receive an email from the Student Employment Office that looks as follows. When you first receive your email from the Student Employment Office with your transfer codes, there are a few key points to notice. Within the email, you are going to see the 2 positions, or 3, dependent upon how many you hold. You'll see those positions, and you'll also see the appropriate transfer codes. The very first position that is listed is what is known as your primary job. The primary job is oftentimes the job that you first received. Other jobs beyond this are known as your secondary jobs. Secondary jobs are those that you will need to actually apply a transfer code for. In Kronos assumes that any and all hours are going to be charged to this primary job. In order to apply this payment elsewhere, we would need to use an appropriate transfer code. So let's practice this. When you log into Kronos, you will have your timesheet will open and we can begin the process. Here on the screen you've noticed that I've put in time for 2 shifts that were completed. From 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Monday the 24th, I worked for the Student Employment Office as a student graduate assistant. On Wednesday, 8/26, I worked at a special event for the Student Employment Office and thus would need to apply a transfer code in order to ensure that the payment is coming from the right place. To do this, I would now look at what we call the transfer column. When I select the transfer column box, a drop-down will appear with the word search. I'll click on search and another window will pop open. Since nothing is showing, I need to use the drop-down menu and select locations. Once this opens, I'm going to notice a few things. First, I see 2 different job codes. I see the 0051 and the 0144. 0051, based upon the email that I received from the Student Employment Office, indicates the transfer code for my primary job. So this is not the one that I'm looking for. What I am looking for is the 0144, and I'll select the positive sign there, and it'll open up my ID number and the date that I was hired for this position. I'm going to use the right arrow to select it, and this will now show me the full transfer code for my secondary position. When I hit select, it should now populate in this area. I'll click OK, and now my transfer code has appropriately popped in the correct box. To ensure that I've done everything correctly, I'm going to hit save, and then I'm going to refresh until everything populates appropriately. And then I should notice a change at the bottom of my screen. For my regular leave time, it shows my Monday shift of 6 hours being charged to the 0051, which is my general graduate assistant position. And then I also notice that for my regular leave time, my shift of 3 hours that was completed on Wednesday is being charged to the 0144, which is my special events transfer code. So I've officially input my transfer codes appropriately. We always recommend in the Student Employment Office that you be very careful when applying your transfer codes and make sure that you know exactly which code applies to which department. Hold on to those emails that you receive from our office, and please contact our department if you have any questions or concerns regarding how to appropriately put transfer codes into the system.